Good evening, NAACP, and I'm Attorney Gerald Griggs, State Conference President. And we are less than 2 days away from this most consequential election in Georgia. And there are several things that are happening in real time that we needed to bring to your attention. So the Georgia NAACP and her units have spanned out and fanned out all over the state of Georgia in 30 important counties to make sure that we are canvassing, that we are phone banking, that we are text banking, that we are making sure the message that there is an election on November the 5th and it is consequential that everyone gets out to vote. And so we are doing that. We just concluded our strolls to the polls and our souls to the polls today. And it was very impactful. We went to many churches. We partnered with some of the units. There was a lot of canvassing and phone banking and text banking happening. And we are now going to set up our war room for Monday and Tuesday, which will be manned by over 30 law students and attorneys from the Office of General Counsel from the NAACP to deal with any election complaints, to deal with any concerns, to field any questions. And so that's important. We will post on our social media and have communication with the units, how they can get in touch with the war room to make sure that there are no illegal activities occurring during the course of this election. So that's important. We are also going to continue our canvassing all the way up to Election Day in the most heated counties, the most needed counties. But I want to congratulate the citizens of Georgia. There's been a lot of conversation all around Georgia in many different media outlets about turnout. And there is record turnout here in the state of Georgia. Record turnout to the tune of 4 million Georgians have already voted. It's historic in the numbers. It's also historic in the numbers that over 1 million African Americans have voted in this election. And that's historic. We are almost at 49% turnout for African Americans and at over 53% turnout overall for all Georgians. That is historic. We are running ahead of 2020 pace, which again, 2020 was a historic year. So we're well on our way to making history in Georgia. But we have to continue to press, continue to knock doors, continue to phone bank to get everyone out. There are, excuse me, over 7.3 there are over 7.3 million Georgians who are active voters. We want to make sure every single person's voice is heard. And that's why the Georgia State Conference, we're partnering with so many organizations around the state of Georgia to make sure you are aware that November the 5th is 2 days away, that the polls will be open from 7 to 7. As long as you're in line before the 7 o'clock deadline on election day, you will be able to vote and you should stay in line. Many of our partner organizations are hosting events near the poll to make sure that we are in accordance with election law, but also making sure that people have the necessary food and sustenance to make sure that they are comfortable in line while they're there. So we are going to continue to abide by the law, but we're also going to make sure that people are satisfied in what they need to make sure they use their constitutional rights. We're also hearing a lot of noise on social media. And so we're asking you to rely on trusted sources as to what is and is not happening on the ground. If you feel that there is something that is violative of people's constitutional rights, please contact us and our partners. 1-866-OUR-VOTE. Again, that's 1-866-OUR-VOTE. It will take you directly to the voter protection hotline, which is going to be manned from the war room in Georgia for Georgia issues. And of course, nationally, it will be manned all over the country. But in Georgia, 1-866-OUR-VOTE to make sure that people understand that their rights are going to be protected and the lawyers are on standby. So I just wanted to make sure you knew about that. We also have posted on our social media and will continue to post on our social media the QR code for those that are interested in canvassing. There are opportunities to canvass digitally through phone banking and text banking and in person in the 30 outlying counties. Again, we've seen record turnout. We've had a great Souls to the Polls events all over the state. I myself was able to go to 3 locations that were awesome, 2 churches, and then of course at Spelman where they had SIP and Select, which was awesome, where we talked about civic engagement, talked about some of the things that are on the ballot, had an opportunity to engage with elected officials about what's on the ballot, what are their party platforms, what are their candidate platforms. So that was exceptional. But now it's time to be prepared for Monday to get ready to go vote on Tuesday. Again, 4 million Georgians have already early voted, 1 million African Americans. And so, as I told Lamar County yesterday at the Freedom Fund, we're asking you to do something. We're asking you to call 5 of your friends, text 5 of your friends, email 5 of your friends, and ask them if they voted. And if they answer yes, tell them you're going to check on the My Voter page to make sure they voted, and hopefully they'll give you the truth. And if they have voted, great. Then ask them to take the challenge to email 5 of their friends, text 5 of their friends, communicate with 5 of their friends to make sure they voted. And we will continue this chain until we get to every single registered and lawfully able to vote individual in Georgia, so we can exercise this most consequential vote, exercise our civic duties, and make sure that Georgia's voice is heard. The eyes of the world are on Georgia, and for a good reason. Georgia has performed in 2018. We performed again in 2020, 2021, 2022, and now it's time in 2024 to send the same message that we've sent so many times, that our voices matter, that every vote should be counted, and it's time for our representative democracy to hear and listen to the will of the people. So I salute you already for the work that you've done. Georgia State Conference, we are looking to you, the units, to make sure that your jurisdiction has record turnout. I've spoken to many of the units who are all doing their part with rides to the polls, with door knocking, with canvassing, with poll monitoring and election monitoring. Continue to do that. If there's any issues, we will be at the Georgia State Conference. Information will be coming shortly of how you get on the Zoom directly with the lawyers, or you can call in. And for those that are watching this and you're not a member of the Georgia State Conference, you also will be able to call in from the 1-866, our vote number. But we're fired up, ready to go vote. I look forward to hearing from you in the next couple of days, and I look forward to a successful election that speaks the voice of Georgia. I'm Attorney Gerald Griggs, the president of the Georgia NAACP. Everybody, let's go vote.